But I guess it makes sense because there's like 3 major areas. There's the main area, which then explodes into the underground area, which then explodes into the moon area, and I guess everything's just squared, or whatever, cubed. So 4 cubed, 16. No, it's not. You get the point. It's late. The math is not right. Welcome to No One Can Know About This, a podcast where we play every Final Fantasy. I'm Jeff Ekman.
I'm Ryan Kazmiski.
And here we go, Season 2, Episode 10.
Episode 10.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of something else to say other than repeating the name Episode 10, but I couldn't.
Well, last week we had a rough time in the Land of Trapdoors. We're moving on from that time.
To the Land of Summoned Monsters, where Rydia studied abroad.
Rydia went for her gap year.
Yeah.
You know, through that whole last dungeon, you kept being like, I know somebody said something about floating. We gotta float the characters, make everything float.
It wasn't helpful there.
I want it all to float. You know, not just wood and things less dense than water.
Yeah.
Right?
But everything. This is where floating needs to happen.
This is where we're heading. This is the other
just past the last cave
to the northeast or northwest.
They should have just named these places because they describe everything in this game as just where it is direction-wise.
They did name these places. This is called the Land of the Summoned Monsters.
I know, but whenever you talk to people, they just like explain it to you as like the cave. That's north of here,
it's weird. They
sometimes
named them.
There's 2 caves north of there.
Right, exactly.
And they don't say, like, the first cave north of here. If you see the second cave, you've gone too far.
Yeah, no.
There's never instructions like that.
But so let's get into it. We're headed into this strange land of summoned monsters.
I need more coffee.
Okay.
I need to get more coffee.
Yeah, me too. All right, let's make some coffee and we'll go into the episode. What's this? The Land of Monsters. I came here on my way from the Land of Summoned Monsters. Let's ask for help.
Oh, dude, I bet we could have come here before we went in there and maybe had something to make those.
That would help with the... What is... Are we getting hurt right now?
I don't know. Oh, you want to float in here.
Oh!
That's talking about this cave.
Yeah, this is the place to float.
Sense. God, I was so confused.
You were so certain about this floating
we
thing,
were talking to people and they were like, the cave to the northwest of here. And I was like, well, this cave isn't on an island.
Dude.
But it is northwest. No, there's just 2 caves northwest of that place.
Christ. That's what the hell? It's just another cave.
I kept being like, just cast float. Just float. Just float everything.
Float it all. Yeah, so the cave hurts you every time you take a few steps. This is a maze, and I don't like it.
But it's full of treasure.
The dead ends have treasures in them. They've learned that lesson. Well, in this cave are some new enemies.
This is one of those enemies that's like, it's like a lady centaur, but spider instead of horse.
Right. Lady top, spider on the bottom. The carpet is significantly different from the drapes.
Which, I don't know about, something about it is familiar. I feel like I've grown up seeing, like, sexy, evil spider lady. Maybe it's because I've been playing these games. This is, like, embedded in my brain. There's, like...
That's a thing in the world, and it's, like, only from these games.
Yeah, maybe. A sexy spider lady.
It's in what this game is based on.
I'm saying it's in the collective subconscious.
Yeah, the collective unconscious. I was actually just reading about that the other day.
You know, it's out there.
Yeah.
We all have this primordial image of a spider woman who's different from Spider-Man.
Yes.
But this is what I was saying earlier about, like, if you said to me, like, Spider-Man or Spider-Woman, even if I didn't know the superhero, I could picture this in my mind.
Right.
Like, part human, part spider.
Right.
But when you say something like Sword Man, I'm like, man with a sword?
I think sword arms. That's
sword
what I'm
arms.
saying. I'm going with
just
sword arms.
No elbows?
No elbows,
like,
just sword arms.
Straight.
It's a huge problem. Can't pick anything up. He's living the chopstick life.
Nothing like a sexy spider.
I was going to say,
mean?
that's a questionable design choice.
It's a thing in D&D and fantasy and stuff.
Sexy spiders?
Yeah. I mean, they're always gross, because...
Because they're spiders? Well, because it's the same thing as the mermaid thing, where it's like oh, they're sexy, and then you get down to it and you're like, they don't have the lady bottom parts.
No.
They only have the lady top parts.
It's real gross in Dark Souls 2. Ooh, a ninja sword. That's gotta be better than a longsword, right?
I would think. I just don't feel like it.
You're just like, not now.
We've been playing for too long already.
Yeah.
And we're like, any effort the game asks of us, we're like, no, just tell me the fascinating story.
At this point, I just don't want to fight.
Yeah.
I just went through a thing. Fuck.
They're like, you will face it. Will?
Touch the device.
Touch the device. Whoa.
Where are we? Rydia, you came back.
This place looks
This is
nuts.
is this like the monster library? Like the MC Monster
This is the
Escher
land
library?
of summoned monsters.
We're in a library under the ground.
Like they all live in like a wooden planked sort of interdimensional staircase.
Yeah, it's like something out of Doctor Who. There's just people everywhere in the distance looking at books and stairs leading everywhere. I'm losing it.
Coffee's great though. Maybe the coffee will kick in, and later in this episode will be better. I don't know.
I don't know.
We are the monsters, and this is our world. Callers can summon us to your world.
Because she stayed here for 10 years and came out and it had been like a day.
Their king resides deep in this world.
So down here we find in a random box is a rat tail.
Yeah, this is the rat tail we need to get the adamant. Which this is kind of cool because this whole land of summoned monsters is like an extra side thing in the game.
Right, and
So
that's
the
where
fact
they
that-
put the item for
For the other
side.
extra side thing.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
there's
yeah.
not much side content, but it's all kind of looped together.
Yeah, yeah. It's like a good game.
It is thoughtfully designed.
It has its moments.
The rat.
Is that a rat
Is
tail?
that a rat tail? Wait, if it was in that random chest, that would be fucking insane. I think that's a rat
I think
whip.
maybe.
I think it's a rat whip for Rydia.
I mean, I've never heard of a rat whip.
Me either.
I think it's a rat tail.
Dude, it's a rat tail. What is it doing there? What the fuck, dude? I could have easily just been like, I mean, fuck it, it's just a chest. All the other chests just have gold.
That's not something you would ever do.
No, I
you
would never do that.
see a chest and then walk away from it. You were feeling offended because you were like, this game put us in danger of not completing the whole thing.
Yeah.
But like, we were never in danger of that.
I wasn't going to let that happen.
That's totally a rat tail, dude. Hi, Rydia. I like this place, dude. It's $1,200 a night.
Don't stay.
I'm staying because I want to treat myself. I had a long day in the dungeon. I fought a wall. Just let me have this.
Okay.
I shouldn't have done it. Whatever. This world's ruled by the master of monsters, and we have a queen named Asura. We want to live in peace. We're just monsters who want to live in peace, selling shields and armor and weapons. I heard that in other worlds, our friends are not behaving themselves.
The monsters are increasing.
They are increasing. You have to beat Queen Asura in order to even be able to speak to the king.
What a crazy thing to tell someone. What a crazy society. You have to beat the shit out of our queen if you want to talk to our king.
Well, this is monster society.
I know.
Jeff, where snakes are born with two heads
Oh,
and
yeah.
they have to compete for survival against themselves. Like,
I don't
shit
know,
is
this
real
is like a
in
calm
here.
place. None of them are like out of control. They're all like cool, calm, collected library monsters. They're all like shushing each other.
Well, they're all like cool, calm, and collected, but they have the power to break you in half if they wanted to.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're just at peace with everything, you know?
This is the church that you were talking about that's built on top of a mountain where it's like you gotta
yeah,
go
this
there
one is
for
through the
enlightenment.
cave that's underground that then you have to float to walk across
Yeah.
the coals or whatever to get there.
Right.
One must be strong in body and mind to pass the cave leading to the world of humans.
And they don't want anything to do with the outside world. Yeah, you're right. It is like a monster monastery.
Yeah,
like
a
they're all
monster-stary.
a monster-stary.
Fuck.
where they all hang out in the library. All there is in town, actually, is a library. There's stairs and a library.
Anyway, I start reading all the books on the shelves, which, as we've established, is like one of the best parts of the game.
But these books contain text.
Yeah, this
They're
is not just
most
the
books are just titles.
Yeah, these are different.
There are countless books here in this library. You will never find it boring.
Yeah, not ever.
The history of our land traces back to the past when humans did not exist. Our master referred to humans as the master of oceans. He is a ruler of night.
Leviathan.
Do you have literature in the world of humans? Call it that.
Unknown.
So all these books are telling us like about the various summons that you can do in the game, some factlets about them.
I mean, one thing that's interesting is it's like to summon a monster, you kind of have to, I guess, have like an understanding with it. Mm-hmm. So that's why Rydia like lived here, is you've got to like have some mutual respect.
You know, you got to have tea with the monster.
Yeah, exactly.
Get to know him.
You want to make sure that you've written down in a contract like what is and is not acceptable. When you can call it, what you can expect from it.
Yeah, there's a whole deal memo that you got to work out.
The two moons said only one moon shone upon the primeval Earth. Interesting.
So what do you think of this like method of exposition?
Of like a library that
Of,
you
like,
just walk
you find
into.
books and there's like stuff that is kind of important for your understanding that's presented kind of clunkily.
Well, I guess like, is it any better to have it be a book in a library or a dude in a town who says, there's a town that's west of here?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, is it
I
any
don't know.
different?
Yeah, I was just thinking this because watching this again, I have a feeling we're going to be coming across a lot of things like this
That are just like
over the
rooms
next
full of information.
year or two as we play more of these games.
Yeah.
Like, especially before the games are voiced. I think we'll be finding, like, you pick up a thing off the ground and you're like, huh, it turns out this world has 4 dimensions. Some shit like that, you know, like...
And then you're like, well, I guess that's going to come up later, and it will.
Yeah.
I think a better method of exposition is, like, using story and characters to tell people about these things in the world. And even just the simple act of, like, yeah, what they did in the first game of, like, giving this information to a dude who lives in town who only says this is maybe even more effective than just like, there's a library, and if you go and you read everything in there, you know more about the world. I guess that's true of the real world.
I was going to say, I mean, like, I feel like hopefully we'll get a better blend in the future. Like, it's kind of nice to have things that, like, you discover rather than that are told or shown to you.
I also like the idea that, like, there's a key piece of information for an optional thing in the game, and that key piece of information is, like, hidden in a library somewhere in another dimension. That's pretty cool. And like, if you are paying attention to everything and you remember everything that you read, then you can know
it pays off. Yeah.
But just the library of exposition as a concept, I don't know.
Our true master, the king of the summoned monsters, created us. He watches over us from afar. The only way to beat him is to reflect back his power.
In these books, we learn about the king, Leviathan, and then another king.
Yeah, it's another situation much like this cave and the other one, which were both referred to as like the Cave Northwest.
Right. There's like another king that watches it from above, and you gotta cast Reflect on that.
Yeah.
And so we get it in our heads that we're gonna need to cast Reflect
on the king of the monsters.
Of the monsters.
Yeah, because no, the way they describe it is there's our king, who like you got to beat the queen to talk to the king, and then there's also our true king,
who's
not
here. But that we didn't get that.
Long ago, a great whale descended from the moon.
It is sleeping inside of a dragon now.
Okay.
I'm not going to spoil what the whale that descended from the moon is, because that is important later. But to say that it's sleeping inside of a dragon is just inaccurate.
Yes.
And never, that doesn't mean anything. With that prophecy, it's like there's a missing dragon in this game.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Humans and monsters, from where they come and where they go, we cannot know. You need Queen Asura's permission to talk to the Master. I'm not even going to talk to the Master, I'm just going to talk to the Queen. Queen Asura, glad to see you again, Rydia. Please help us. I just beat the shit out of a wall, bitch.
So we fight the queen, Asura, which is a pretty interesting fight because all she's really doing is like healing herself. I mean, even though our advice of like cast Reflect was not supposed to be for this boss, we wound up doing that on her, and all she does is heal herself, and so she kept healing us, and we just kept dumping damage into her.
Yeah, because otherwise there's no way you're going to beat her, because she'll heal to full after every round.
Right, so you just gotta cast Reflect on her so that it reflects her cure spells back onto us. It was a fun fight.
Rydia, you have fine and brave friends. Call me whenever you need my help.
Oh, I think you just got another summon? Yeah.
Asura. Fuck yes.
Fucking sweet.
And what about you? You're the first ones to defeat Asura, but strength alone is not enough to counter evil. You must have an even stronger will to guide your powers toward good.
Heal
Hang
first.
on, let me heal.
So we heal up and head right into the Leviathan fight.
Whoa, Leviathan.
The last time we saw Leviathan, he was like 10 times the size of our giant ship. This time, he's like a normal boss. But one of the things that we do is cast Reflect again, because we think that that's the advice that we're supposed to do.
Yeah, we read a book that was like the only way to beat our true king is to reflect his magic back at him.
Right.
And the first time we fight Leviathan, as we're doing it, we're like, this doesn't seem like helpful advice at all.
Yeah.
It's a fine piece of advice, but like it's not like the key to the fight.
Yeah.
Key to the fight is lightning. Wait, the wall wore off.
Yeah.
The Leviathan fight is long, and he kicked my ass.
Yeah, that's something right. Both the fight with Asura and Leviathan, these feel like long optional bosses.
Yeah,
they're-
like we're editing out basically all of the gameplay of it because we weren't saying anything interesting, but trust us, it was long.
It's such a long fight. Do you want a shot at it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I kind of need a break from playing. I'm gonna eat a slice of pizza. I was hoping that was gonna be. I was hoping I would go out on that. I mean, it's been a pretty epic adventure already. Like,
Yeah.
and if we go to the moon, and that's like the big climactic finale, and maybe there's like a teeny tiny epilogue or whatever. I'd call that a successful Final Fantasy story.
Oh, yeah. So far, I mean, with the completion of that last dungeon, I was like, fuck yes.
Fuck yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that was awesome.
yeah.
You're right.
So listening to this, it's like you're ready to trade the controller.
Yeah.
We're both tired. It's very late, and we're both like in a good mood still.
Yeah, it would be like a perfect natural stopping point for the night.
Yeah.
It's like past midnight, that's for sure.
I just hearing this, I'm like, why? Like, how did the night turn from this into what it turns into?
For two reasons, I think. One is what you just said, where it's like, oh my god, after that last dungeon, let's fucking do it.
Yeah, it's
and
like,
then
oh.
combined with the light at the end of the tunnel, which, as we've mentioned before, always assume that the light at the end of the tunnel is super bright.
Yeah,
We've established
when you're playing
that.
a Final Fantasy game, every time you think you must be at the end, you're probably not. Yeah.
So the combination of being like, this game is awesome and we may be able to finish this tonight is
Yeah.
what leads to what comes next.
That's a pitfall I didn't see, as opposed to like forcing yourself to play a game you
Right,
hate, where
right.
when it's time to stop, you're like, thank God it's
yeah,
over.
exactly.
Like you're like, it's probably time to stop, and you don't even recognize that
Right.
because you just want to keep going.
Right, that's when the drug has destroyed your life, but at this point,
Yeah.
it's like the drug is like, no, it's still helping me.
Exactly. We're gonna do this forever.
Yeah, it's
Wow, I feel great. Like that was super intense, and at the point where I was really gonna start feeling like shit if I kept playing. I mean, I kind of feel like shit, but like in the way where, like,
we've.
what I
it's been
mean
a
is
long
like,
day, but
what I mean is like, I feel great to not be playing right now, but in a way where I'm not like, what did I do?
Oh, don't worry.
Yeah.
You'll get there.
you'll be there soon.
What you mean is you don't feel that way yet.
Yet.
I like how you're going like, I feel like that was a perfect place to stop. Let's keep going.
Let's keep going.
I'm like, whoa, that was fucking intense.
yeah.
Nice.
Learn Leviathan.
Levia.
Levia. I feel like that's what there is to do here. Let's look
I think
around
that
more,
might
but
be-
that seems like
I think that's what's to do here, is get those two optional summons. Mm-hmm. How much energy do you have?
I have some energy.
Like,
Should we flip a coin? See if we're gonna go to bed or not?
Well, I feel like that's the thing is like how much do we want to push tonight?
How do you feel?
I would be up for doing a 3 a.m. night. It's midnight now.
Yeah, I definitely
12:30.
would keep going.
You're up for some more game?
Yeah.
3 a.m. sounds great. That would have been great.
I think I said last episode, but I had it in my head like we're
finishing
gonna
this.
beat it tonight, and I thought I constantly every time we did the next thing, I was like, we gotta be close.
This is it.
Yeah, I for some reason thought like this game will probably be shorter than the last one.
God damn it, dude.
It could have been. It could have been short.
Anything's possible.
Why
And,
not
like,
see where else super
That's
late?
the thing. Like, if we have to spend a day sleeping and recovering from recording this season,
Yeah, and also it's like we totally do get weirder stuff when we're super tired. So,
yeah, that's
and
true.
we can't just make ourselves super tired.
No, you have to
begin
get
with.
there.
You have to get there.
like
so
earn it.
gotta earn your tiredness.
This is totally our conflict of interest. It's
Yeah.
like at this point we weren't even playing the game to enjoy it anymore. We were playing the game with the hope
To see what happens.
of like playing for too long because we wanted some like piece of audio that would make it all worth it.
I hope it comes, because it was a bad idea.
It was.
There's a whole bunch of reasons that that's really fucking awesome.
When Leviathan ate her and she disappeared and she came back, I was like, so what's the deal? Where is he? Where's Leviathan?
Right? Yeah. Why you didn't come back with him?
So we head back to the dwarf village and we start talking to King Giot again.
They gathered all the crystals. Now we're finished. Unless the legend of the big whale comes true. I did read about that. When I read that, I think I moved past it pretty quick, but I was like, that's so funny,
We
and I
read about
can't
it
wait
in the-
to meet about this space
read about
whale.
Legends in this game just come up as needed.
Yeah, it's
like back when we met like Elder Magic Man at the Hall of Wishes or whatever, he couldn't have included like, and there's this thing about a big whale
Yeah.
back then.
Yeah, the thing that I just think is missing from this game is something early on that kind of just mentions a lot of the stuff that happens later on. I'm saying put an exposition library at the beginning.
Yeah. Later when it happens, it's like, oh man, they got all the crystals and now we're stuck. There some
was
old
another
man
legend.
who's like, well, that reminds me of like the third legend
Yeah.
that has the answer to your question.
Big whale?
A huge ship spoken in legend. It says one to be born from Mysidian legend. You know Mysidia?
So it starts talking about the Mysidian legend because it says one to be born from, and we know that that's one to be born from a dragon, and now the space whale is going to come out of the dragon because it's been sleeping in there.
I mean,
What the
there's
fuck
like I
is
said, there's a
happening?
missing dragon because like if this original legend is supposed to be about the whale, and I want to say like that original prophecy doesn't mention the whale at
Doesn't
all.
mention the whale at all.
I'm positing that it's a different Mysidian legend because we go back to Mysidia,
One
and the
that
guy's
also
like,
has
"Let me
one to
tell."
be born from in it.
No, like we go back to Mysidia, and the guy there is like, "Let me tell you about the space whale." Legends on legends.
Legends on legends. It's a whole league of legends.
Elder of Mysidia is now wishing in the tower.
I wonder if he's intending to. By the
Call
way,
big whale?
you know, when you go up to the top of the tower and you just wish,
You wish for the big whale.
wish for the big whale. But the way to the upper world is closed. We can't get close to the Tower of Babel.
So Sid shows up because it's time for some airship maintenance. It's blocked. We need a drill.
We've got to attach a drill to the head of the Falcon so you can dig your way out.
Fuck yeah.
Sid's like, I'm here to give.
Who do you think you're talking to? I am Sid, the master engineer of the airships. Right, now let's remodel it. No. Sid, just the
He's
drill will
already
be
put
fine. We don't need to.
flames.
No, he's like, take this wall out, make a big open space.
Yeah.
An open concept.
So Sid remodels our airship, and then we don't take him home.
No, we
He has
put
a
him
wife
back in
and
the
a
hospital.
daughter above land. He's just gonna live at this dwarf hospital for the rest of his life. Like, we could,
He's not even like, go tell my family something.
yeah, we could drop him off.
Just rest here underground in this nightmare cave with these dwarves. In a dark kingdom surrounded by lava. What a terrible place.
You have no such time to waste on this old man. He really put the... What did that say? He really put the drills on you.
Put on the drills.
He really put on the drills.
Because he gave us drills.
That sounds like a like an idiom that doesn't exist, but it's like, you know, I mean, he really put on the drills. Like it was a great performance.
Yeah, well, there's like, put the drills to him, you know?
Yeah,
Drill.
right. But I like the variation of he put on the drills.
Put on the drills.
Like he put the drills on him. Like it's like
He really wore the big toes today. I wasn't sure he was gonna do it, but then he put on the glove with the long fingers, and
he's gonna wear the big toes today. I like that he usually doesn't have his big toes on. Like it's his whole toe that detaches.
So we hop on the airship. It's got the drill on it. We start flying around, ready to go up to the upper world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going back.
We're going back.
above.
Got to go to Mysidia.
So, okay.
we're gonna go straight
For butthole. What?
See, I think this is where he blew it up.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So we like drill our way back up through the mountain.
Yeah, the mountain that caved in, and it's not even worth explaining the details of that.
Yeah, we don't need to get into
The physics.
how do you cave in a hole?
How do you? Well, with a bomb,
We
I blow up a hole and it the hole disappears.
We unblow up the hole and make it a hole again.
Yep.
And fly back to the top.
Yes. So now we're in the overworld, and even though we were just told what to do, we forgot.
Okay.
I
We are in the upper
don't know
world.
how to get to the moon.
Yeah, well, they're all gathering with the crystals somewhere. Where would be the most logical place? The first town?
This is like 30 seconds after I said we're going to Mysidia, right? Like,
Yeah,
we're so
yeah.
tired already that we forgot. 30
we're
seconds ago, we knew where we were going. And now we've forgotten.
There's 10 hours left in this day.
Yeah, the day still goes on for 10 more hours. Oh my god. It's like at the time I didn't even realize how tired. We should have stopped like an hour before this.
Before this.
Yeah. We thought we were going to get better audio when we were tired. This is worse. Like, this is worse to listen to, less entertaining. Like, we're just, like, repeating the same things over and over again. All we can muster is saying what we've done in the game already. And just then followed by, you know? That's it. That's what happens when we get tired.
We have less to say.
Yeah.
Although, that was how we got into the tower.
Why do you think we need to go to the tower?
Look at it.
What the fuck? I mean, come on. Past me? That's not the place to go, and you know that. I just heard you tell me you know where to go. You're going to Mysidia. Now I'm watching you fly around the Tower of Babel like you're gonna go back inside of it.
Oh my god.
I mean, though, to be fair, we have heard many, many times that the Tower of Babel opens the way to the moon.
Yeah, but we just said it. We gotta go. Whatever, man.
Oh, I know exactly where we need to go.
Where?
The guy who's wishing in the magic town. They talked about him because he's wishing for the whale.
Thank you. God. It only took like a trip around the planet to remember something that you knew already, past self. Go to bed on time.
Go to bed.
Whale wisher.
Whale wishing. I mean, that's what whale watching often turns into, but we enjoy it all the same.
Truer words. What? I don't. Where are you going?
I'm just looking, dude. I'm just looking.
What do you think is the right place?
I'm looking for Mount Ordeals.
Oh,
Once I find
Wait.
that,
go down to the left. Wait,
I think to the right.
yeah, go to the right.
I'll find it. It's right here.
Oh, right, this town. They were like, the town's
We have been
real?
waiting for you.
Right.
Come to the Tower of Wishes.
Right, this is the first town that we blew up.
Mm-hmm.
Right, of course. This all tracks. This all makes sense.
So we do a quick recap of the prophecy when we show up at Mysidia, just in case you forgot.
One to be born from a dragon, hoisting the light and the dark, arises high up, in the sky too, the still land, veiling the moon with the light of eternity. It brings another promise to Mother Earth with a bounty and mercy. Who wrote that?
I don't know what that means.
Holy shit. Okay. I think we've hit on something because we read in the book in the Land of the Summoned Monsters that the whale resides in a dragon. So, but it was hiding there. That's
It was
not where
sleeping.
it was
Said
sleeping.
it was sleeping in a dragon.
Right, which is not to be born from if you're asleep in a dragon and then you. But
you could make that poetically born from
sure, a dragon,
coming out of
right. It's like you mentioned. It's Nostradamus shit. It's not exact, but then it rises high up in the sky to the still land, wielding light and the dark. Because we're the light, right? We're the paladin, and
but
is
we're
the
both
dark-
because we have both
So
inside of
we're
us.
both?
I don't know, but I think that this prophecy might be about a spaceship.
Because we don't go up to the moon with Golbez, right? Like, because that would make sense with the light and the dark, Golbez being the dark.
Right.
And then it returns to Mother Earth with another promise.
A promise of a world with only one moon.
What the fuck? I don't...
It's still, I mean, here's
still
the
doesn't
thing.
make sense.
Nothing is born of a dragon in this game. Nothing. There's nothing in this game that's born of a dragon. Maybe Rydia, because her mom
maybe
summoned a
Rydia.
dragon.
Right.
So you could call her. You could imagine a world where, like, in the town, her mom is called the Great Dragon because
Right.
she summons
Right,
dragons.
Right, totally.
But that's not in the game.
No.
It's not in the
Nope,
text.
It's not there.
You fight some dragons, but there's nothing that's born from a dragon. And then they say in the library that the space whale is sleeping in a dragon.
Right.
The ocean isn't shaped like a dragon.
None of it involves
Nobody
a dragon.
calls the ocean a dragon.
What's about to happen is the big space whale is a spaceship. It's an airship that can go to the moon, and it's going to rise out of the ocean.
It's not going to be born
it's
from a
certainly not
dragon.
coming out of a dragon's cloaca. Which I assume they
or an
have
egg.
cloacas. No, dragon eggs aren't a thing. That's not how it happens.
All right, we're all gonna wish together.
Wish, everyone, the legend shall come alive now. Isn't Tinkerbell living on wishes or something? Or that's the applause? Laughter?
Laughter.
Hope. Love? I don't remember.
If you say you don't believe in fairies, every time a bell rings, a fairy gets its wings.
Is that the saying?
An angel gets its wings.
Every time
Tinkerbell has Bell in her name. Hold on, there's something.
There's
hold
something
on.
there. There's something there.
Tinkerbell in Hook.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't believe in fairies, and then she's like, oh no,
Right.
and she's gonna die.
Right.
What does he do?
He believes in her again.
Masturbates furiously
He definitely
in the corner,
goes into the corner,
and screams,
averts his eyes.
I believe in fairies. I believe in fairies. Until he reaches climax,
And then,
and then she's okay.
well, she like stops fading away. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the plot of Hook.
No, but he just in that movie says he has to believe in fairies.
I think there's some element of that. Well, future
But
us, let us know.
when you wish upon a star, That's Jiminy Cricket.
That's Jiminy Cricket, yeah. When you wish upon a star.
And he was friends with Pinocchio.
Yeah, who wanted to be a real boy.
And I've seen them both hang out with Tinkerbell, I feel like.
Wasn't there some element of, applause?
Yeah, I feel like... Does he have
Do you
to
have
clap?
to, clap to, prove that you believe in the fairy?
Yeah, there's definitely some clapping.
I feel like there was some part of it was I get off on applause and attention. And that's why I'm a fairy.
No.
No? Look, everyone, our wish was granted. Space whale. Whoa, dude. Whoa, that's some psychedelic shit.
Yeah, the space whale rises out of the ocean and it's flashing a bunch of crazy colors.
And it's not a magic thing that was born of a dragon. It's a spaceship.
It's a space airship. It's
it's made of
boat.
Metal.
It's a
You go inside. It's got computers. It wasn't born. It wasn't born
at all. It was built.
Yes.
One built by a dragon using his carpentry skills.
Maybe by the end we'll get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, I don't
upon
know.
rewatching this for the third time or whatever.
This is the 8th time. I don't know what you mean.
No, but I mean at the end of the game, maybe something will click.
No, I
in
don't
the
think so.
text.
Not for the space whale from here on out. Maybe in the final scene, but I don't expect that.
If our dad was a dragon,
Which I don't think he was.
I don't either.
Well,
But
we'll get there.
It's a psychedelic space whale.
Yeah, if you hadn't told me that it was a whale, I wouldn't know what that was.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
The ship of light from the moon.
So
whale
maybe
is
it's
like a
not
metaphor.
whale.
It's not a whale.
Well, wait, maybe the whale is still coming.
Okay.
The big whale. God damn it!
Name the big
whale. It is the big whale.
But it's
I mean,
a
it's
ship
pretty
of light,
awesome.
but
It's a
it's
ship-
called the big whale because
Yeah.
it's sort of like a whale,
Look at this thing.
but it's a spaceship.
Yeah, it's in the shape of a whale. It's got whale tail. While wishing, while whale wishing, I heard a voice calling you to come to the moon.
Someone awaits you there.
Moon, but how?
The big whale is the ship from the moon. It works as an airship, but when going to the moon, you need to talk to the crystal of flight to voyage between the moon and the Earth.
Where did he learn how to use the ship? Because this is an instruction booklet of
I
when
know.
you get on the ship, don't forget to pop the clutch or whatever. But it came from this legend,
no,
right?
he's telling us this vague legend, but I think it's clear he's holding a lot of information back because he has specific directions on how everything works.
He's there's when you go in there, here's the layout, and here's
Yeah,
what you're
I
gonna
know.
the buttons that you're gonna have to press and how it works, and it's this legendary spaceship.
Here's my take on it. He got all of this information in his lifetime, and he's pretending that it's ancient knowledge so that he can start his own religion. That's what this
That
fucking
makes
guy
the
is.
most sense by far.
I guess that makes perfect sense.
It works like an airship. Did it auto walk out?
Yeah.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah. Okay, so we gotta talk to the crystal.
Sweet.
Boing! Yeah!
Whoa! Let's go to the moon. We're in space. We're in fucking space.
We're in fantasy space.
So we're in space, and then we very quickly land on the moon, which I love the moon. I'm a big fan of especially the Apollo missions and NASA and the Russian space program and stuff like that. So anything that goes into space and the moon, I'm putty in your hands.
Oh, I
Baby.
Oh, look at this.
So there's this. I
Oh my God,
can't
what
tell
is
what
that?
is, but there's a thing there.
Yeah, there's a thing there. There's a circle there.
It's just a very small planet. It's the same thing.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
Oh wow,
That's, there's a thing.
this thing repeats instantly.
Yeah.
Why would you
I
even
think
let
you
us
can
fly
almost-
around here? You can
you're
almost see
you can
the
almost see.
Yeah.
You can see
it's
it on both
just off
sides.
edge.
Yeah, the moon is so small that you can see it's like a flat Earth moon because you can see more of it in your field of view than it would be possible if it was a round structure. Like we're seeing it like 350 degrees of the 360 degrees of the map.
It's like it's so small that whatever the structure is on the reverse side from you, if you like tilt your head one way, you can see the left side of it, and if you tilt your head the other way, you can see the whole moon basically.
It's a tiny, tiny space.
Yeah.
Well, the moons are much smaller than planets.
That's true, and the planet itself is very small. I can't land this here, can I?
Well, probably not on all this rocky terrain.
It's so big. It's such a big...
So basically, the moon is, there's a crystal and there's a circle. Ooh, I like the moon noise.
music.
What kind of moon creatures? Pudding.
Slime, tofu, and pudding.
Pudding and tofu and some slime. That's what I expected to find on the moon. No cheese monster? The moon, famously made of cheese.
Is it made of cheese in other cultures too?
I don't know.
Well, we're dying.
So we're exploring the moon and we find a cave.
Cave Bahamut! Well.
In here we find a samurai sword.
Yeah, we find all samurai gear.
Samurai! Wait, are you not gonna give that to... I know what you're gonna say. But you're not gonna give that to the ninja?
But he uses two weapons.
Oh, it's a samurai shield.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was a...
And plus... Yeah, you know what I'm gonna say.
I know what
He's
you're
a
gonna
ninja.
say. He's a ninja, not a samurai. They're different things.
Have
but I was
some
just...
respect for the Japanese culture, Jeff.
I'm assuming
My
that they don't
God.
have respect for their own culture.
We're wrong because I haven't saved on the moon.
You haven't saved on the moon. That's
Please
not
run.
great.
Please run.
They will. Wait, where are you going?
Going to save.
How far back? I
It's
mean, I
not
feel
that
like you're...
far.
Are you about... Alright.
Dude,
Alright.
come on.
Alright.
You want to die in here?
No.
It's right here.
Oh, well, I did not realize that you were that early in the thing. That cabin looks so stupid on the moon.
I'm very tempted to go to Earth to look for Edward.
Yeah, I mean, every single fight is as hard or harder than the trapdoor fights.
Yeah.
And we're at a point now where we're like too tired to acknowledge leveling up is what we need to do. We're thinking things like, let's go back to Earth and get Edward. He'll solve all our problems.
Yeah. Well, we do need a fifth.
We do, but like our problems are of our own making.
It's not like Earth is 650,000 miles away, or what? Future Jeff, could you come in with the number of miles to the moon from the Earth?
238,900 miles.
Thank you.
So in this section, there were a lot of battles, and we start using various summons, including the Jinn.
And Jins.
One of the things that the bad guys are casting on us is a thing called Blaze.
I hate when Blaze hits everybody. I prefer when it hits pizza. I don't think I've ever had it still.
Yeah, we need to go. We need to get you to a Blaze Pizza as soon as possible.
I mean, Dan's told me about it.
Dude, it's the best. And you can only eat it at malls. There's like no other place it exists. It's perfect.
You mentioned Blaze Pizza last season and a specific pizza called the Veg Out. And since last season, we've gone to Blaze Pizza like 100 times. Because once I had it once, I was like, I don't want anything else.
It is the best.
It's so good.
And I mean,
Free advertising.
it's at the mall.
It's at the fucking mall.
I do love them all.
It's the best like consumer class pizza.
Like as opposed to business class pizza.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not one of those pizzas that just like nobody can afford.
Right.
You know?
we have all had those or seen them, but none of us can afford them.
I think what I mean is that it's like it's
not a
it's a
fancy-
chain restaurant. There's a
Right.
lot of Blaze pizzas all over the country.
It's a Chipotle for pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not. Yeah.
Is it
Totally just
Is it
like
the reason that Sbarro's is dead?
I think Sbarro's is dead for its own reasons, but it's definitely the better replacement.
You know what Sbarro's problem is? Their menu got too big.
I mean, maybe. You know what tomorrow's problem is? Seems like they made a few pizzas, no one bought it all day, and they just left those pizzas out.
And then they hoped that somebody would buy it, and then nobody
were
did.
Bad too.
It was from the best case scenario. My memory of them was actually that they weren't. That I like kind of enjoyed how thick and stupid their crust was. And recently, like within the last year, we wound up at an airport, and it was like, and it looked so good bad under the glass, and it tasted so.
I love that description. Good, bad. It's like it's bad, but you want it.
But it tasted bad in a way where I was like, this sauce is just. I don't want to put. And I was like hungry, and I never. When I'm hungry and there's like bad food around, I'm gonna eat it. And I didn't. I like took 2 bites of it and I couldn't continue.
Can't run. Oh shit.
All of the rest of it.
Oh no. Oh
Who
no.
is this?
Oh no. Oh no. Hold on.
Yeah, surprise, it's a behemoth. An incredibly difficult enemy.
Yeah, this is our first encounter with the behemoth, and it turns out that there's like
3 forced encounters with the behemoth on your way to Bahamut.
Yeah.
So through the cave, you have to fight 3 of these incredibly high hit point guys.
And we're just like not even managing to do it right now. There's some tricks we learn that help us do it, but it's still like every one of these fights is a very like, we're really on the edge of our abilities here.
Riding that edge.
Riding the edge.
Man, he's got so much defense.
I would say that we are not leveled enough to fight this guy. That's what I would say about this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it can. I just don't think it
You just don't
realistically
think
can
that
be
it's
done.
possible right now. Do you want to try to go find Edward?
Yeah.
The real bummer is all the leveling that you did down there is gone.
Yeah, but I mean, anytime we go back, we will do it again.
That's not really the consolation I meant. That's right, that we're saying the same thing.
Yeah, I know. And I lost all the samurai gear.
After we lose to the behemoth,
We decide to go get what we think is our 5th player, which is Edward. He's back on Earth. We fly all the way back from the moon, land on Earth, go to Edward, and he's like, I can't help you, I'm in bed.
yeah, he's like, "Don't you know I'm not done with my inpatient treatment yet?"
Yeah, I'm still sick. I dope. Yeah, halfway through methadone, I had a couple setbacks.
He's like, "I'm not even supposed to have visitors. If you guys don't get out of here, I could be in big trouble."
Yeah, I wish you could do better too, jerk. I flew back from the moon for you, you pansy. What the fuck? Get out of bed. We're down a man.
We need you, dude.
Alright, well, we're gonna go to the town on the moon.
Yeah, let's find the town on the moon.
Right here.
That's the
So
old...
sick of everyone's shit right now.
I was getting there, dude. I mean, that's what a long play session does. Is it gets you to the place where you're sick of everybody's shit. Yeah, I think that maybe the behemoth fight isn't really out of our range. It's just we gotta find that new strat, bro.
I think it could be more in our range. It could be more comfortably in our range than it is.
I won't disagree with that, but I don't think it's out of our league. With the right 6 strats, bro.
Making coffee?
Making coffee.
Yeah.
We're at the lunar place. Welcome.
Is there a crystal here? What are we looking at?
Well, it looks like a crystal place. There's an old man.
So after exploring other parts of the moon that don't have to do with Bahamut,
Yeah.
we find a little crystal room and an old man who's saying more crazy shit.
Yeah,
New
he's
legends.
like, I've got the legend behind the legend that started the legend.
That was the originator of that other legend. Mm-hmm. Oh boy.
I am Fusoya, the guardian of Lunarian slumber. Lunarians? Yes, millennia ago, the planet between Mars and Jupiter was about to be shattered.
Okay.
The people who survived this calamity escaped by ships and headed for the blue planet.
Wait a minute, I just realized, so what's between Mars and Jupiter? By the way, again, Mars, Jupiter, we're on Earth, it's a thing.
Yeah, I think this is the only Final Fantasy game that takes place like in our solar system.
The blue planet.
The blue planet?
What could that possibly
Yorland,
be?
Earth. So this takes place on Earth? Like the Earth with Jupiter and Mars and shit?
They're saying that there was a planet that existed between Mars and Jupiter. What is between Mars and Jupiter now is the asteroid belt.
Right.
So that's kind of taking the idea of like, what if the asteroid belt was once a planet and the
it
people on
blew
it,
up.
fuck it, yeah, it blew up. Reasons unknown. All the people who were on it right before it blew up came to Earth, and that's why shit's weird on Earth.
So I guess that dates this to before now on Earth, right? Because he was like, we came...
Here's the problem, because we've mentioned, like, this has to take place in the distant future, because ancestors were dwarves,
Or the distant past.
where their ancestors were just really short from malnutrition.
I mean...
That's a thing. If you go to, like, old places
Yeah,
in
I know,
England, they're all like,
but,
there's
like-
not enough room.
But I'm saying like prehistory
Right,
Earth, like some
right.
forgotten Atlantis civilization shit. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, it has to be after human beings evolved.
Yeah,
we
like
haven't,
human
this
beings-
isn't in the fossil record, man.
And there once was
This is
a
some
one
Destiny
moon.
shit going
This takes
on.
place way in the future because like there was one moon
Yeah.
back in the past. That's our times. There also used to be like cities and shit and human beings, and no dwarves. Well, there were a few dwarves, but they were rare.
We haven't found
well,
any
we've just
mist
lost
dragons.
the underground place, and the land of summoned monsters is like another land.
Right, that I figure is like a parallel dimension. But like, did the underground, do you think, collapse and we all like fell in on it and like that, and now like
The Earth is just smaller than it used
smaller
to
than
be.
it used
It's
to be.
just like a layer of air like crunched down.
Exactly.
Maybe. Well, if it's in our future, like then we would have two moons right now.
No, because this. You're right, because it was a while ago that the moon showed up. Because the moon
that's what
is
I'm
a
saying.
spaceship.
Yeah.
From the moon's a spaceship.
The
right?
moon is the second moon is a spaceship
that's
from
growing the color of rubies.
That's why I'm saying this has to take place in some hypothetical past
But
fantasy.
I love the idea of like literally the asteroid belt used to be a planet and like beings are surviving who lived there once.
Yeah.
That's cool shit.
That's a cool idea.
But it's not really like complete here. It's not like really doing that idea because they could hit that idea way harder than they do.
Well, this is information that's like meaningless to
Like,
these people. 'cause,
I
like,
don't think they even say like the planet became the asteroid belt. It's like you have to have separate knowledge about our solar system to appreciate that element of this game. Like you have to know that that between Mars and Jupiter is now the asteroid belt, and this planet that broke apart is that.
But like every
doesn't tell you.
elementary school kid knows that.
But this game is also telling you to the left is west, to the down is south. Like it's not
That's
assuming
true.
knowledge.
However, the people of the Earth were still in the process of evolution. Thus, they created another moon and kept sleeping.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Okay, so yeah, it was before. It's in the past. Humans were still evolving.
Yeah, they got here and they were like, these aren't quite people yet. Let's wait for them to be people.
We'll wait for them in space.
Yeah.
So this does all take place before now.
Why? What the fuck? Why not set it in a fantasy world? Why even make the connection?
But he refused it. He tried to make the Earth his place to live. Who? I forced him to sleep, but his thoughts were still awakened.
Wait a minute.
What are you saying? Is that who is
Has
controlling
this guy been
Golbez?
living on the moon talking crazy shit? What have you been doing all this time? What is your life? Fusoya, I got a lot of questions.
Hold on. Is that who's been controlling Golbez? Who is that? He is Zemus. He needs the crystals as the energy source to reactivate the Tower of Babil, to bring down the Giant of Babil to annihilate the living on Earth. Most of us Lunarians are waiting for you folks on the blue planet to be able to understand us. What about the big whale?
Yeah, what about the big whale?
My brother Kluya made it to go to the blue planet. He taught your folks how to build the airships and the Serpent Road.
So this is some, like, aliens came down to Egypt shit.
So Sid did not invent the airships. We were given a bunch of technology from somebody from the moon. Mm-hmm. We were given the technology of teleporter roads and airships.
And humans have decided to put all of their money on airships, not teleporters.
So way better technology,
Yeah,
I would think. I don't fucking know, man. But, like, I think that because you're supposed to be able to teleport from the Tower of Babel to the moon, but then we also did it on a ship. Like, there's teleportation stuff that winds up not coming into play. The main takeaway here is he gave a bunch of technology to humans. Mm-hmm. And back in the very beginning of the game, it says that shit started to get weird when we got the power of airship.
You're right.
And we were at the time being like, Sid's got a clean conscience. And it's like, Sid isn't even an original guy. He didn't come up with the airship. He's been iterating on the airship.
Right.
But he's not the guy who actually invented it. The guy who invented it is Kluya, which is the first time where you're learning that name.
It's a lot to take in.
It's a lot to take in.
Kluya fell in love with a girl on your blue planet and gave birth to 2 children. One of them is you, Cecil.
What the fuck?
So that means that this all happened not even that long ago.
Yeah, with the invention of the airship was like, how old is Cecil? He's like 30, 35?
He's like an adult. He's not an old man.
He's definitely not.
But like the whole time we've been hearing about this stuff, they've been calling it like legends that have been passed down.
Right. Clearly, if Kluya is our dad, then it couldn't have been very long ago that he came down and taught everybody about airships.
Uh-huh.
And the Serpent Road was built. This shit is brand new.
Yeah, and they're like, we were gonna sleep until you could understand us, but that was
Now
like
we
not. That was
understand
like
them. Like, we
40
have-
years ago, maybe.
They were like, we're gonna sleep until you guys invent English. And now we're speaking it. What are the Lunarians speaking right now? Like, what are we hearing from Fusoya if not English?
It's just
or Japanese,
the thing
whatever
that's
the fuck you
blowing
want
my mind is it's just occurring to me that this wasn't like some ancient thing that happened that we're learning about. This is like not very long ago.
People are
this
alive
happened,
who remember before it.
which I guess makes more sense that like aliens showed up and immediately it was a problem.
Yeah,
it's
with
not
the
like
monsters increasing.
Yeah.
Sid's like he's the only guy with airship knowledge. Wait a minute. If Kluya came down and gave us the power of airship, then Sid literally knows our dad, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, and it seems like he would be the perfect person to seed in the like mystery of like someday I'll tell you about your father.
Exactly.
He and I were great friends.
Right.
He taught me everything I know.
Yeah.
Like what?
Instead,
like,
Sid is literally taking full credit for the invention of the airship.
Uh-huh.
Sid's not coming off great here.
I mean, I feel like what this is that they like improvised this whole story, and instead of like retroactively making the improvisations like line up,
Right, like go back and change the beginning
seed it
again.
in.
Yeah.
They just stuck with how it had landed the first time.
It seems that way.
But what would make more sense is instead of it being like a legend that like this mystical man in Mysidia barely seems to understand, if he
Right.
was like, I've been waiting, I met an alien.
Right.
And he told me about this,
Right.
and I've been waiting for you to come up because your father and I were friends.
Right.
Like, that's a thing that would
He
make
was
a
like,
lot
one
more
day
sense
my son will come.
than some prophecy that feels like it's been misunderstood for 8 generations
It's a
or
game
something.
of telephone
Yeah.
that took one step.
It's like the first guy, the first guy who
guy
was
that
supposed
got
to
on the
relay the
phone.
message
Yeah.
fucked it up.
Exactly.
Wait a minute.
Hang on.
Cecil's like, oh yeah, I never mentioned my mysterious past.
I don't have. Then the light at the Mount Ordeals, was
It must be the spirit of your father, Kluya.
get a
My
clue.
father is that light. Kluya gave you his power to thwart the foul machination of Zemus.
Okay.
We must stop him for the sake of our 2 races. Now let's hurry to the Tower of Babil in Eblan. I will go with you. Yay!
Lunarian Fusoya joined.
So Fusoya joins our party, and we go into this other room, and there's 8 crystals, and you can talk to them.
Like, every crystal on Earth was a big deal, and by the time you get here, they're like, crystals are just a thing we've got a lot
Right.
of. There's 8 more. Yeah, these ones do talk, though.
Yeah.
The other ones didn't seem to
These ones
speak.
have shit to say.
Yeah.
We are the crystals of the moon. These talk.
The crystals talk?
This moon is maintained by the balance with the 8 crystals on your blue planet. From the center of this floor, there runs a path that leads to Zemus's core, but it's shielded now.
They're like little exhibits at a museum. This is really cool. We got all the crystals
Zemus
here, dude,
used
on the moon.
Golbez to gather the crystals and increase their powers with the Tower of Babil.
I gotta be honest with you, I did not expect that we would have all the crystals together on the moon in this game. That's not something I thought would
These
happen.
are other crystals. They correspond to the Earth crystals that have all been stolen now.
Right. Wait a minute. Hang on. hang on. Let me.
The 8 crystals
Wait.
of the-
No, seriously. Hang on. I actually have a quick question. There was a time where they were like, there's the 4 crystals, and then there's like 4 opposite crystals. Those are the under crystals.
Mm-hmm.
And then are you telling me that now there's 8 opposite crystals of those 8?
Yeah.
That there were opposite of each other with the 4s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think we, the 8 crystals of the moon, are confining Zemus.
Okay.
These are the moon crystals.
The moon crystals.
Zemus is a dreadful man. His evil mind does not sleep even when his body is sealed deep under the ground.
Okay.
Golbez, who has been being psychically manipulated by Zemus from the moon, has gathered all of the Earth crystals. The Lunarians are sleeping deep under the ground here.
Why are there crystals on Earth at all?
I guess the Lunarians must have put them there.
But for what?
Some future plan that maybe doesn't
That they
never get to enact because Zemus fouls it up?
like there's
Because, like, our dad, Kuya or whatever...
Kluya,
came to Earth to do something.
fuck
He
bitches.
must... Well, that's what he ended up doing.
Right, he set out with a different goal.
But he must have... Because he brought the spaceship to Earth.
Right.
Somebody
But
built
did
the
crystals
Tower
come
of
with
Babel.
that? All the crystals didn't show up on Earth 30 years ago.
No, I think they did.
The 8 Earth crystals have been on Earth for like only a couple of years.
I don't think that they just, like, came with the Earth, because they correspond with these alien crystals.
I know, but why would they have ever... I don't think our dad brought 8 crystals with him and scattered them throughout the Earth when he came down.
He must have, because, look, the crystal rooms look the same as this. So the
But they
Lunarians
built a bunch
must
of
have...
various crystal rooms in different towns on Earth.
Yeah.
On the above and the below the ground.
Maybe they built them like the monoliths in 2001. They're like, these things are gonna help you unravel the mysteries.
I guess I just really felt like these crystals had been on Earth for generations.
Well, it feels like that, and then it even feels like the Lunarians maybe put them there generations ago, but then
Right.
it turns out the Lunarians just showed up like
And
a
waited.
generation ago.
Right. Well, I don't... Wait, did Kluya come down to Earth like right when the Lunarians showed up in Earth orbit?
I mean, it's unclear, but from the story they told, it's like, we got here.
Right.
We looked around and realized that people weren't ready for, like, the knowledge we were going to drop or something like that.
We couldn't talk to you guys yet.
Zemus wanted to just go take over the planet, but we were like, no, Zemus, you need to sleep with the rest. You just go to sleep.
Everybody goes to sleep.
Except
But
for
then our
Kluya.
dad... I thought that our dad, like, woke up while everybody else was asleep and, like...
I think the only thing we can say with any definitive anything is that it's unclear.
There's that hard left turn.
There's that hard left
Golbez
turn.
is not even the real...
Golbez was the doppelganger, the quantum entangled particle to the moon's evil sleeping god.
Like, Golbez is
figure.
like a bad man, but there's, like, something more than bad man. There's evil man.
There's evil man. They've really taken that idea and blown it up. So, there's a total of 16 crystals.
Yeah, I think so. This game, I mean, this is not like Final Fantasy 1 where there's 4 crystals. There are just crystals to spare in this game. There's
as many crystals as there are bits in the machine.
some of these could
You
go...
know what I mean? Super Nintendo, 64 bits or 16 bits?
32.
32? No, 16.
16?
Yeah.
16. You're right.
Yes.
I mean, it's a more complex world for a more complex game. More crystals.
Yeah. This one, we put more.
The one takeaway from this nonsense that you can really like hold in your hand and have it makes sense and is important for the game
This is tangible. You can understand this.
is that Fusoya comes with us.
Yeah, he
and
joins our party.
just like Edge is like our ninja replacement for our karate man. This is like old man with magic number 2.
Yeah. Old man with
he's
magic
he's
too.
got a lot of magic. He's an old man with a beard.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's Fusoya.
What level is he? So he's 50. Like, that says to me, like, they're like, you might want to be at this level. Like, that might be where you should be.
I mean, 37, 39. We're not that far off.
We're 10 off.
I mean, I don't think that that's suggesting we all need to be 50.
No, I mean, I'm just saying...
Adding a level 50 guy to our party is going to make the Cave of Bahamut a little bit easier.
It is. B2F.
Do you think we'll get to DTF?
I think we will.
So now that we have Fusoya, we decide instead of going to the Tower of Babel where he told us to go, we're going to go try our hand at Bahamut's cave again and fight those behemoths.
Yeah. So this is us at the first behemoth again.
This is brutal. I assume when we get to Bahamut, we're not going to fight it.
I don't know.
You know, this looks nothing like a moth.
A behemoth.
A behemoth.
Dude.
And we make it through the behemoth fights. Like, they're hard, but we have some new strategies, and having Fusoya really makes it possible.
Yeah, one of the things that we cracked right now was the spell Blink makes it way harder for enemies to hit your guys. So we're using that all the time, and we're just playing better.
Yeah.
We're playing better. Still a little underleveled, though.
But we make it to Bahamut.
There's little people who
Oh,
say
shit.
things that don't make sense.
What do you need?
And you're a half.
A half? A half of what?
So you had defeated Leviathan, but it could have been done without the power of light. Whether you possess the true light or not, I, Bahamut, the king of monsters, will judge. God, no. No!
Oh, it's a fight. God damn it.
So we're fighting Bahamut, and he just starts counting down, and that's never a good sign.
5.
Okay.
Oh, shit. 3. Something terrible is on the way.
Yeah, I know. Hold on. Do that.
I know that it's expensive, but like...
Hold on.
So at the end of the countdown, Bahamut just throws something called Mega Nuke at you, which just decimates everybody.
Yeah, just an instant kill on everybody.
Yep.
And then it occurs to us that book we read in the monster library that said the only way to beat our true king is to reflect his power back at him was talking about this guy,
Yeah.
not about Leviathan. So it's like we know how to beat him now, but also we've got to walk all the way back to him.
It's a whole, we didn't fight any of the behemoths.
This is the first situation in this game, as opposed to the first one, where a death is just the crushingness of it is like, oh, I gotta walk all the way back.
You know what, past us? I have some advice for you. Stop now. Now would be a good time to stop.
Go to bed.
Go to bed.
When you're tired, it means your body needs sleep.
That's what it's
And your
telling
body
you.
is what keeps you alive.
Yes.
It's
Listen to it.
Do it again. I don't want to do it again.
I'll take
I'm
you to
going to.
Bahamut. I'll take you to Bahamut.
Alright.
Whoa, dude.
I think Mega Nuke is a spell. Like, I think that'll reflect.
Oh, we all... Oh,
The only way to do it,
duh.
because it literally in that book it said the only way to beat him is to cast it back at him. Leviathan, that didn't make any sense.
Dude. Man.
So I get us back there, battle through all the behemoths, and I get us back to Bahamut, and I hand the controller back over to you.
You got us here in the first place. This is really your battle. I got us back here, you know?
I'll do it.
Take it away. Wall, 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 wall. Oh! Mega Newton barely missed it. Fuck
There we go. Okay.
Yeah! That's how you beat a boss. Yes! Great!
That's the.
Fucking
I'm so
work.
glad it's just the trick.
Yeah, I mean, that's how boss fights should be. It's like mostly a trick. Wow. I have indeed seen your strength and will. You can call my name when you need my help, Rydia.
Yeah.
Baham.
Fuck yeah.
Baham! We're going to the Bahamas.
And that's where we're going to break this week. That's episode 10.
Yep, that's all the extra summons. We got all of them in that episode.
Yeah, we got Leviathan, we got Asura, we got Bahamut. Everything's ready to go, ready to head out and beat that final boss, right?
Yeah. 'cause,
Next episode,
we're about to beat the game.
we're gonna beat it.
I mean, I don't know about you, but for real, that was my mindset constantly. Every story beat in this game, I was like, and this is the end. And now we're at the end. And now this is the end.
This I
really
knew
thought
that we were.
like-
I knew that this was a side thing that we were doing in this last episode. But like after this, every single thing that we do next, I'm like, well, that's the end of the game. Well, that's definitely
Just like the last game, too, for some reason, I got it in my head that, like, there wasn't going to be a big final dungeon.
Right.
That there was just going to be, like, you just go to the bad guy and you beat him.
You
at the
beat him,
end.
yeah.
I keep forgetting
The thing-
there's always
something
a
that-
big final thing.
Well, that's the thing is like something that's true of all of these games, and we know this. Like, this isn't something that we don't know. Like, it's like a constant thing with this series of like, you're like, I gotta be getting to the end, and then you find out you're halfway through the game.
Well, it's not that bad.
It's close. We should know every time we think this is really it. It's not. That's
And,
really what
and
I'm
I should
saying.
at least be expecting that the end isn't going to be just like an end. There will be a big final dungeon.
Right.
Because that's what the game is. Like,
It's-
why would there not? It'd feel like it was missing without it.
It really would.
But when it's late and I'm tired and all I want is for it to be over.
Well, also we've played 15, and that falls into that. That doesn't have any finale.
Well, 15 just doesn't have anything that makes a Final Fantasy. It just is missing most of the game. Not to like get way ahead of ourselves on this podcast,
Get
but
years
that game,
and years
that
and
game
years
is a special
ahead.
case because it's like a big world that's like empty. Like
Yeah.
they forgot to put people in it and
Well, just
stores.
wait till we play the Royal Edition.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sure in
It's
that
going to
one,
be totally different.
the only thing in that game are gas stations. That's it.
All right, well, please rate and review us on iTunes. You can find us at noonecannowabouthis.com. We're at NoCapPodcast and NoCapPodcast@gmail.com. If you want to hear the episodes on Mondays instead of Thursdays, consider heading over to patreon.com/NoCat. And, fuck, man, join us next week. It's episode 11.
Closing in.
Yeah, we're closing in on the finale, and here's a little taste of it. You know, if that's the head of the snake, it's all gonna rot. Or wait, the head of the fish.
The head of the fish. That's how the phrase goes.
Right, yeah.
Cut off the head of the fish. The rest dies.
Or, that's not the phrase.
No, it's not.